it's a busy time of year. The holiday season is just about here. Thanksgiving is just a few days away. Now, one thing that people love to do this time of year to celebrate Thanksgiving is deep fry a turkey. Any words of wisdom to people that will be trying to do that for their home-cooked meal this year?
Yeah, so what I would tell them is that to have a second plan of action, because you never know what the weather's going to bring. And if you've got that oil up to boiling temperature and all of a sudden it starts raining, it will cause an overflow and start on fire. So that's a safety issue, as well as you want to make sure that you have thawed your turkey before you stick it in the boiling oil.
Now, a lot of people will also choose not to do that. They'll be focusing on the oven, the stove, probably have a lot of different things going on at once. What should people really keep in mind, because we all know how busy a kitchen can be on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, watch out for the little kids running around. And also, whatever you're cooking, if you're using the stovetop, make sure that you are keeping the handles out to the side. Make sure you're always attentive to whatever it is you're cooking. And you're also going to want to make sure that, it's not too crazy in the kitchen. Have fun, but make sure that, you can still get to a fire extinguisher if you need it.
Now, we've also seen the temperature start to come down a little bit. It's almost like November. We'll start to see that change, even though it's seemingly always very warm in West Texas. We have begun to start to see a bit of a chill. People are turning heaters on for the first time, and maybe they smell a little bit of a burning smell. Is that normal? It
is normal. It is normal because it's been sitting there for 6 months to a year without being used. Dust settles, and that's maybe what you're smelling. I would make sure that you test your smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors real well before you turn on those heaters. Also, if you do find a lingering smell, don't be afraid to call the fire department.
Now, we know that fire and smoke detectors are important year-round, but with the heater going on, maybe a space heater, are they maybe more vital this time of year coming up to the winter season?
Definitely want to be really safe around space heaters, okay? You don't want to, if you're going to use them, plug them directly into the wall. Don't use any extension cords. You also want to make sure that you have one that has what's called a tip-over switch. In case it does end up being tipped over, it will turn off. But you got to be careful with that as well because it's still hot right when it tips over. So never leave a space heater unattended. Also make sure that there's at least 3 feet around it in order for space between like curtains, blankets, and stuff like that. You don't want combustible materials around it.
We know that temperatures can get cold, and unfortunately some people may not have a heating system in their home, or maybe they only have one space heater. And it seems like every winter we hear the stories across the country of people that end up using their oven to try and stay warm. If you could just explain really the potential dangers of trying to stay warm that way.
Really? Okay, so one of the potential dangers is carbon monoxide if you're using a gas stove. And carbon monoxide is a production of fire. So anything that burns produces carbon monoxide. And so we don't want that to happen. But we also, it is most definitely a very unsafe way to heat your house. It's meant for food, not to keep you warm.
Absolutely. This time of year, do you and the fire department see your calls for service go up, and would you say maybe if you do, it's a dramatic spike or maybe just a bit of an uptick?
In general, it's a little bit of an uptick. We are a little bit busier around this time of year. People are doing more. The weather's more comfortable. Maybe they're cooking outside. Maybe they're doing. Maybe they're having barbecue friends over with a fire pit, and some people may call us to go check that out. There are simple things that you can do to make sure you're even using the fire pit right. Make sure it is it's lifted up off the ground, and we recommend like a conversation pit from Walmart. So it's lifted up off the ground. It's got a metal piece protecting the ground. Also no more than 3 feet in diameter, and flames 2 to 3 feet high. All right. We don't want to get calls saying from 2 blocks down saying they can see flames over somebody's house.
No, we definitely do not need that. You don't need the glow over the neighborhood.
No, the glow's fine for your backyard.
Yes, absolutely. You know, we go on the Tom Green County Sheriff's Office Facebook page a lot, and they communicate a lot. There is a burn ban in effect. There isn't a burn ban in effect, and it seems like it fluctuates. Obviously, during the summer, we see a lot of burn bans. In early November, we had so much rain that the burn ban is not currently in effect. Maybe when people think of a burn ban, they think of spring, they think of summer, and wildfires, same time of year. But is that a concern for you guys, even in the winter season, when it seems like maybe that could not necessarily be the case?
It's a concern all year round. So you want to make sure that you do check that page out and make sure that there isn't a burn ban. In the city limits, you cannot burn leaves, branches, trash. You can't burn anything within city limits except for normal firewood. Okay? So you want to make sure you're up on the news where that's concerned. It is devastating, as devastating in the winter as it is during the spring and summer months.
As we are, as I said, just a few days out from Thanksgiving, winter is rapidly approaching. We've seen the temperatures already come down a bit. Any final words of wisdom for the people that are tuning in?
Again, make sure that you test your smoke detectors or carbon monoxide detectors. Make sure that your fire extinguishers the needle is in the green on your little dial. Make sure you have that readily available. Have a secondary plan for cooking your turkey. And happy Thanksgiving. Have a safe holiday.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.